issue on my part. All good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay. I forget. Do I share a screen on Discord? I think so, right?
Yes.
Like it's okay.
We skip
Streaming
one week
together
and
is
we
just for the
forget how it
camera.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, literally. That is the small brain moment there. Okay, I should be live. Me enable the chat, and then we should be good. Okay. Obviously we didn't have our session last week, but just catch me up to date, I guess, on how you're feeling, how the games are going.
I'm feeling very stressed out because I feel like every game I've just been getting stomped on by the other team, and not really sure what to do about that because I don't feel like I have opportunity to improve if that just keeps happening, or maybe I can and I just don't. I don't know if that's on me. But yeah, that's the main feeling. So last week we skipped because I felt like I had just terrible games all week, and then the same thing happened this week where I was like, maybe we should cancel again, but maybe it's better to just look at it and figure out what's going on at this point.
Gotcha. So specifically with the games you feel stomped out, that's kind of the bad feelings. How about the ones where you're winning? How does that feel?
The ones that I feel like I'm getting carried a little bit for those ones. So like,
okay.
Yeah. I feel like I don't make enough impact, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it comes down to.
Okay, that's valid. Okay. How are your mechanics feeling?
They're feeling okay, maybe a little inconsistent. Some days I'm feeling like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing and I know where I'm going. And then some days it's like, I'm so thrown off by everything. I don't know where anyone is or like how to find those or pick those fights. So.
Okay. Okay.
Not sure where that's coming from.
Okay. Makes sense. How do you feel about the Reyna pick?
I think it's been good to just focus on the mechanics and those fights. Just yesterday I was having trouble insta-locking her. Other people would insta-lock her before me, so I started playing Clove, and that's been interesting.
Yeah, Clove's great. Okay. Something that I'd be curious on looking at the VOD today is if it makes sense for us to transition out of the Reyna role. Because it was always meant to be a side quest. So there's kind of like two determining factors I'll be looking for that. But number one is like if our mechanics are at a good threshold for us to kind of move on to another agent or role. And then the second thing would be more so like, how does our playstyle kind of look? Because I think when we first started playing, you were playing the Sentinel, which kind of led you to play a bit more passive naturally, just on the roll. I would imagine that's like your natural playstyle just regardless, but I'm sure it's also influenced as being like a newer player. But those are the kind of two things. And it's not to say like you can't get to high ranks playing Reyna, it's just like a different way to do it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'd be curious on. In terms of win rates on the map, I mean, we're doing pretty well on all the maps that haven't split, which we kind of identified last time anyways. But that to me kind of shows that it's not necessarily a map issue minus split. It's probably something else coming up here. So in terms of actual VOD to look at, you did mention that the games where you're kind of, you know, getting one way stomped feels really bad. So it might make sense to take a look at one of those to see if it's, you know, if we're getting smurfed on, or if we're just struggling because of other reasons, like maybe the comps or whatever the case may be. So I'm kind of eyeing this Lotus or this Ascent for one of those just because they're recent, but they're also pretty hardcore stomps, even though we're getting kills. So those two come to mind. What do you think? Is there any other ones that kind of come to mind for you?
No, I don't think I have a preference.
Okay, let's take a look at this Ascent one maybe. Looks like the teams are fairly balanced here. Okay, so let's see Ascent. I believe it's this one here. Okay, let's take a look. You got the little title of Hardstock, huh? You're embracing
Yeah,
it?
embracing it. For a while, I was embracing the Reina aesthetic as well, but decided to switch over.
I gotcha. I wouldn't say we're a hard stock. That win rate's looking positive. Okay, actually, I should probably boot up my game too. Let me do that real quick while this is loading in. How's the audio levels? Too quiet? It's kind of quiet on my end, low key.
Yeah, it's a bit quiet for me.
Yeah, let's see. Can I turn this up? Not blow my eardrums out. Okay, it's a little bit better. Okay, so we're already starting on the young fast rotate. Quite nice. What the heck? Okay, I didn't scan anything. Oh, it got broken. Okay. We got double satchel on. Okay, it rotates a little bit slow, but here we go. Sorry, let me turn this up.
Still in sight.
Okay, let's go back real quick. So we're playing fast rotate. It's pretty standard. We've talked about this. They show util B. I would have liked to see us rotate like immediately after like any noise is made here. But we do eventually get over there. It's just looks like about 3 to 4 seconds a bit later than it could have been, which unfortunately means that this raise is already out lane. To be fair, this guy is quick. But we rotate over. There's like this weird Phoenix wall here, which is super rare. Normally you would get a sight line here. Smoke comes up, you pull out your flash instinctually, which is good. This is definitely something we want to see. You flash out, boom. We're preeming this way, which we didn't catch the audio cue maybe of the door closing, but that could help us preem this a little bit better. In terms of the actual gunfight here, we flick over, which is good. But these moving targets and then we kind of drop down. It's a little bit awkward, but we get a good recovery there, and then unfortunately we dismiss a bit far here. So in terms of like the actual fast rotate portion, I would say we could be slightly quicker. In terms of the actual like flash peak, obviously the pre-aim could be a little bit better. So that's all things to consider if we're thinking about agents, because going through smokes is honestly very disorienting. So we could consider playing a role where we are already on the bomb site rather than flooding into the bomb site. So going back to the previous playstyle that you used to play, like the Sentinel and stuff, that's literally what Sentinels used to do. You would be on the bomb site instead of being behind the smoke. So immediately, like what I just saw here, I would probably say that I'd be against us switching to like a Clove, for example, because Clove is very much fast rotate as well. But getting through the smoke is also going to be a little bit harder because you don't have that flash. So off the top of my head, that's kind of what I'm thinking about right now. But you have a little bit of experience on the Sentinel role. How do you feel about that role?
I like it. I think I mentioned this before, but I was on a bit of a loss streak with Deadlock, which is why I didn't try her recently when someone else would insta-lock Reina. So that's the only reason why. If I had a little more practice, maybe I would feel more comfortable again.
For sure, for sure. I guess I'm curious on what role or agent you think you would enjoy playing, and also maybe even what you think you would be best at looking long term.
I have no idea.
This poor place.
No idea,
It
that's
brings
valid.
to life.
No.
A city after
I
my own
was
heart.
trying to do we talked about it a little bit when I tried playing with a friend, and you said maybe that's better to do on an alt account. So I made an alt account, and since I have limited agent options, I've been just playing like Brimstone and then trying with Sova. And both are very difficult to get used to. I feel like maybe a little more comfortable with Brimstone, maybe just because I've played a little more with the maps, and now I
Right.
know, like, okay, maybe it makes more sense to smoke blah blah blah. So that's
Gotcha.
just the tendency that I've been going toward right now, but I don't know if I'm good at map control. I don't think that would be my role at all. So maybe leaning more toward initiators or sentinel just to get info, because that I feel like helps me a lot.
Okay, that makes sense. When you say map control, what do you mean? Just so I understand.
Well, just like where to place smokes so that it's easier for us to know where the other team is. That's just like the broad overview, I think, of why I decided to try them.
Gotcha.
But I always calm to my teammates, can you please ping if there's a better smoke? And then yeah, I don't know. I just kind of play off of them.
Okay. That makes sense. I definitely feel like what you said makes sense as well, in the sense, I'm saying a lot of sense. The sentinel and the initiator, like having that info could be very helpful.
Yeah.
I think the majority of players learn the game faster in terms of game sense if they have some type of util that gives them info.
Yeah.
So doing a role like that could be helpful. I think I would lean more on sentinel because I personally feel like it's the easier role. In my opinion, I feel like initiator is the most complex role because you kind of have to like go really aggro sometimes or go really passive sometimes, whereas like duelist is kind of like always aggro.
Yeah.
Majority of the time, and sentinels is like passive leaning. So in that sense, it's a bit more straightforward with Senti. But let's keep going for now. Unfortunately, the flood wasn't as impactful as it could have been. Round 2 here, we're kind of broke, so I'm just gonna go through this one quickly. Let's rotate, Sage Wall, 5 suppressed. Okay, it's gonna take a while. Let's go back really quick. Okay, so something that we're doing a lot of with the classic is like shoot, move, which is a pretty good thing. You have a bias to move, which is good. Unfortunately, we have a couple of shooting errors.
Yeah.
The other thing that is difficult with aiming and moving at the same time is timing your, like, when you stop and shoot, and then going for that little micro adjustment. So we're seeing a little bit of difficulty with that here, but the actual, fights in terms of the timing is good. Like, you are running out heaven with your homie here. We have player on site. We have 2 players on site actually. So the timing of this flood does make sense. We just obviously, unfortunately, couldn't convert the gun duel. So let's keep going for now. Something I did mention, I think, was that it might be time to introduce a little bit of aim training.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much. I would probably say that probably like 15 and 20 minutes. I can come out with a playlist for you and send that over as well.
Okay.
It wouldn't take too long, but yeah, that's something to consider. Wow, okay, I was playing hella aggro. Okay, so we fast rotate, and then we go for the push up. Okay. I mean, I'm down for a flank. Looks like we don't commit to it.
Yeah, I got scared with the Phoenix as well, and then
I gotcha.
trying to keep track of the minimap as well.
That makes sense. So what we're kind of seeing right now is we're in a really good fast rotate spot, but we didn't commit to it and we didn't commit to the fast flank. So it almost feels like as you've gotten more game time, we've started maybe second guessing the push a little bit more. I don't know if you remember, but I think the first VOD I watched, I forget if it was bind or what, but I do remember a deadlock bind game where you're fast rotating like immediately. And that was one of the things I highlighted that I thought you were doing really well of. And I think I know it's only been 2 rounds, or 3, I should say, but this is something that maybe we are starting to overcomplicate a little bit.
Okay.
One brain cell fast rotate is going to be the king of getting a bit more impact. I do believe we are Sage Vault here. Unfortunate. Report Sage. Okay, let's take a look at the retake.
Still in sight.
Okay. It's poor Omen. Just got one tapped. Nice. Oh my god, we're spraying. Let's go.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
I actually have no idea what this guy is. Okay, he planted A! What the? All good, no time. I mean, we're spraying, so I'm happy to see the sprays. That's something I forgot to ask. How do you feel like your spray control has progressed?
Yeah, I've been focusing on it a lot more with the death matches at least, and then I think, especially since I've been getting stomped on and being broke for most of the games, it's easier to practice with either the Spectre or the Bulldog. So it's just kind of like had to have become part of my game play in the last couple of weeks.
I heard that. Okay. I am a big fan of the spraying mechanic. Okay, so again, fast rotate should be there after the hunt. This would be a flash moment. Yep. That's a good nade. Oh, someone died. Oof. Yeah, that's pretty rare for the raise to nade spawn. But yeah, that's tough. You do have a slight timing here. If you just flash and run forward, you'll make it. So something to think about. Flooding, generally, it's very scary to run through smokes. I can't even lie to you. But it is important to try and force your way through if you can. So it's going to be hard to run the win at this point, but maybe we can get a kill or a heal. I mean, from what I can tell so far is that this raise is kind of just running it down, and we aren't making it on the flood in time. Like, we didn't make it on pistol, we didn't make it this round, and we didn't make it on the previous round. Oh, this guy got shit on though. Okay, nice shot by him. Yeah, literally it's just the fast rotate, it's too slow. And their rush is pretty quick. So they're just gonna go B again, boom. It's just a fast B again. And yeah, now we're again just too late. So this is probably why you aren't feeling like you're having impact. So it could be, this is only the one game, but if you're feeling like you're getting stomped, they could just be rushing more. And that might just, that pace, that tempo, that speed might not be something you're as used to compared to the earlier games. And maybe you could have actually afforded to rotate slightly slower. But yeah, if you take a look, let's go back and take a look at this round. The round is pretty much over right now. You know, your Phoenix is fighting your Fade on site, and the rocket's going off, and we don't have a timing to go through. Well, actually, we did have a timing to go through if we're in the smoke, but at this point, we're playing a 3v4 retake. And I believe I've showed this stat before, but I just really want to nail it down a little bit. We can just directly go to our rank. So let's go to Ascent. Wait, I'm on the wrong thing here. Plant spots, Ascent. We go to, let's just go for Silver. And if you look at the B bomb site, if they get the bomb down, just in general, they have the attackers have over a 71% chance to win the round. If they plant in this little first one here by the box, I don't know if it's kind of hard to see. The 67.9%, and then if they plant in the normal spot, I would say in the little corner, almost 72%. So what is my point? My point is that if they take the bomb site and they plant the bomb, we're already like in a huge disadvantageous situation. So flooding through the smokes and fighting is going to be super, super important. This is true even in the pro level, but I would say even more so in ranked, because at least in the pro level, retakes are like rehearsed. Whereas in ranked, it's like, oh, you know, let me just go out randomly. And then the other guy is like, oh yeah, let me go out. So it's a lot easier for attackers.
Spike planted.
Okay, so I do like the flash, at least. Unfortunately, we didn't look on any of the close corners, but it's always a bit hard. Though maybe the more important thing to note here is the fact that the site has already been taken, which means that the flood opportunity is already gone. So given that your 2 site players are already dead and we didn't force our way through earlier, it makes more sense generally just to wait the smoke out.
Okay.
B.
We'll see if that becomes a common occurrence as well, but let's keep going. Wow, 5 aiming. They really are just rushing everything. Okay, so knife out flank or rotate, this is fine.
I know exactly where you are.
Yeah, so unfortunately, again, we don't make it to the bomb site. This one, I don't think you can really change anything because we started bottom mid. We pushed up towards here. So typically if you're in pizza and they go, hey, you won't make this rotate anyways. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's keep going though.
I know exactly where you are.
They are just running it down.
Spike planted.
Yeah, see the retake here.
Someone else.
Current division.
Come on, let's go!
Man, retaking is so tough, this guy, I mean.
Careful now.
Still in sight.
Good flash.
Now.
Take a look at this one more
Still in
time.
sight.
Okay. Crosshair placement's pretty low, but
Still in sight.
I like the flash drop too. This is good. And then your crosshair placement is a bit wider from the wall, like it's not too close to the brick. So it's not too bad. Unfortunately, we just had the worst gun here.
Yeah.
But again, another retake failed. I'm gonna check my kitchen real quick because there's something beeping. So just give me like 30 seconds.
Okay, good luck. Hello, chat. How are we today? Discord ping? I think that was Dope Eyes. I mean, it could be mine. I don't know. I could. Well, I have Discord open for this. How are you? Oh, Nightbot says hi too. I didn't know that. That's cute. Crazy how sterile Pat's room looks without the purple lighting. I know. I know. But it's such a nice day. I decided to have the blinds open, and when it is, when the blinds are open, you can't really see the purple anyway. We could turn it on. We could turn it on. But I don't know how much of a difference that makes. Viet, thank you for resubscribing for 5 months. Happy 5 months to us. Yeah, a little sunlight. I'm like a plant. Today's been such a great, like, vitamin D supplement for me.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Alright, let's keep going. A lot of retake simulator. Okay, fast B again. It's literally just A, B, A, B. We are here in time though, which is good. Oh my god, we got C's. Wow, the util is really good. Is kitchen alright? It is, it is. We're chilling. Okay. So the big thing I would want you to see here is the minimap. So your Sage sees the raise here. This would be a great opportunity to flash and swing. And we aren't picking that up here. So it's okay that we're not picking it up. I think when I see this, I think of the roll again. If we're playing, let's just pretend like we're some type of sentinel. Let's go with Killjoy. Killjoy turret goes pew pew. Like that tells you, oh, it's time to, you know, go shoot people. And I think maybe if it's like you get the audio cue, or if it's like your util, it'll be a bit more obvious to you compared to looking at the mini map and trying to make that assumption yourself. So, but yeah, we're missing all these timings here. If you look at mini map right now, that was one timing to try and fight the raise with your Sage, and then he peeks out here, and then we see another 3. I could see you're actually looking at the edge of this Phoenix wall, so maybe that's where your focus is on. But there are 3 people on the minimap there, and wow, they closed the door. So we never made it onto site despite getting that fast rotate over, which is obviously a bit unfortunate. Let's see how we play the retake. We should actually win it just because they're playing forward.
One enemy remaining.
Almost. Oh my god, there's a molly. Ah!
Last
Yeah,
player
I
standing.
die.
All good. Okay, so I think the common theme right now is literally we just aren't making the rotate in time. Now, I will go ahead and say their comp is unique. Typically, when you play Ascent, you aren't playing against a Raze, a Brimstone, or a Fade, and they're doing really good jobs, doing a really good job of throwing util in the smokes. Like this round, I think the Fade threw the C's in the smoke. The previous round, the Raze threw the nade in the smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing a really good job of countering your fast flood, but also we are slightly just a bit too slow. So that's something to consider as well. Looks like they're just fast A. It really is just A, B, A, B.
I know exactly where you are.
Okay. Yeah, we don't commit to the fast rotate here. Maybe because of the Cypher ult, but if we had flash out here, you'd be able to flash off your Omen's contact right now. Boom. Sees this guy, flash. Probably be able to get that kill. So we're in another retake. Oh, we do get this flash off here though. They haven't planted yet, so this is ideal still. I blame the gun. I blame the gun. I blame the gun. That's actually insane. No bullets hit there? If you had like a rifle, this probably would have been good. The Spectre, it's kind of hard to burst this fast because like the gun doesn't reset in time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Also, I'm
like
walking here.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough, but oh my god! Oh my god! This miss.
Remaining.
What the fuck? I gotta watch that back. This round is a fever dream. Oh my god. Yeah, the crosshair is just on him the whole time. It's just the gun hasn't reset yet.
Spike down A. One enemy
He
remaining.
just killed that guy falling too.
Our tactics failed.
That's something right there. That's great actually. Okay, so wow, they didn't go mid. Or wow, we didn't go B. You see this kill again. Yeah, that guy
Raise
got
dead.
destroyed.
My ult's ready.
Oh yeah, we got our mid fight. Finally, they haven't rushed the round slow. I don't know what's gonna happen now. Looks like they're going B. Yeah. Okay.
Face your fear.
Dodge the ult. Pull out our flash. Yep. Flash
Spike
through.
down,
Boom.
B.
In sight.
Okay. Oh my god, this guy on sight.
One
Nice, good
enemy
movement.
remaining.
You do have the shoot and move habit down to a science.
Yippee.
Joke's over! You're
Okay,
dead!
fast A. Go, 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 go! It's a little bit slow, but it's okay. We should be here in time.
Cover going out.
Flash. Okay, they're not through. Good, we're in a good spot. This is also a fine spot. I don't know if they're gonna commit.
Yeah, I think they rotate. Or they
don't
like fake a rotate or something.
Flashbang!
Oh, nice
Last
try.
player.
If we saw this guy running up and we comboed our flash with his flash, that would have been insane. But it's okay that you don't flash here. Fighting with your homie is good. Honestly, kind of just crazy if this guy kills us first, though.
Flashbang!
Yeah, no, that's fine. Fought with the homie. I think I'm pretty happy that you noticed your KO was off cat and you were there with him, so that's a more important piece. The flash would be a bonus. Okay, hot B. We should rotate. So yeah, they just
I
have B
think now
side
I'm
for free.
scared because of because
The
at
raise,
one point
yeah.
they were.
It's valid. Okay, so we're playing a retake here, which is fine. Our Sage kind of messed up the wall. I don't know what's going on here.
Going up!
Okay,
Spike planted.
so we're going lane. We have 2 flashes.
Careful now! No one
Still
wants
in
to
sight.
fight!
One enemy remaining.
We're moving. We are moving. We might not be able to insta-kill them with the quick movement, but this definitely keeps you alive.
One enemy remaining.
Do you think
No
they're too
complaints from
small
me.
of steps?
I don't think so. If we're, well,
Well, this area is kind of small as well, so I think I was scared of the limitation, or I didn't know where it was.
yeah. I guess when you ask like, is it too small of steps? I kind of, there's like 2 things I think of. Is like, one, is it too small for us, like us in this sense? And if I were to say like, if I were to define what is too small, then I would say that we aren't strafing wide enough to give us time to aim.
Mm-hmm.
If that were the case. So like, you know, like someone that might be like a bit quicker to go for that micro adjustment as they're in transition might be able to strafe at a quicker cadence. Because like I can flick here and here, for example, in the same micro strafe tempo that we're doing here. But it seems like you're doing it fairly comfortably. Like we don't have that bad of shooting error. I think it's only like 2 bullets throughout this whole exchange,
One enemy remaining.
which really isn't that bad. So you have like your shooting and your movement timing done well. In terms of the actual like crosshair moving in between each shot,
One enemy remaining.
it seems like it's okay. We aren't like adjusting our crosshair back up to the head, I would say. Like if we were to slow this down all the way, let me go to like 0.25 or something. You'll see every time we take our first start of the burst, it's going to be around the chest level. So we aren't adjusting that part back up. But I can't tell if that's specifically going to be an aim thing, like, oh, we're just moving too quickly that we don't have enough time to aim, or is it just that's like not part of your habit to go for the little micro adjustment back into the head. So yeah, sorry, complicated answer a little bit, but at least we aren't having that much of a shooting error. It would just have to be trying to sneak in that little micro adjustment between every strafe, if you need it, of course. Okay, so it looks like they're going mid again, maybe?
I know
Unless they missed
exactly
it
where
hard.
you are.
Yeah, there's a guy mid. Rotation. Alright, Sage is to go.
Yo, you can do that too.
Close right, close right.
Careful now.
Spike planted.
Oh shit, we
One
left them.
enemy remaining.
Oh good, they got that.
Yeah, the spike.
You're like, this Brimstone's playing this stupid ass Molly lineup again. He's gonna be an A main playing his Molly plus ult for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's the.
He's low. Someone
Oh yeah. Oof. We lost.
Prepare for hellfire.
This what we're seeing here is gimmicking your way to winning rounds, this Brimstone. Respect though. Okay, so the biggest thing for me on defense is the fact that we actually were playing so much retake, which is a side effect of not actually getting the fast rotate quick enough, but also they're doing good util in the smokes. So let's kind of back up and write some of the stuff down. Played quite a bit of retake simulator. This can happen due to us rotating too slowly. This is one. Two is enemy team. Oh wait, whoops. This can also happen due to the enemy team having really good utility in the smokes to stop us from flooding. Okay, so there's kind of two different solutions to this problem here. One is actually just gambling and playing on a site. So you might be like, okay, well, they kind of seem like they're going B more than A. So let me try and play some rounds where we're playing B. Going off of the 80-20 rule, you know, 20% of the rounds you might want to play in a extremity. So you could play logs. This one's pretty popular. This one's pretty popular. I personally like ledge the most because I can like take my timing whenever I hear them, so I can hide and then peek out. This also lets me dodge flashes. So this is my personal favorite. But my point being is this would counter the fact that they are using a lot of util to stop us from getting through the smokes. So having that 20% budget in your decision making on your pre-round positioning could help here. The other thing is actually just to rotate quicker. So obviously the haunt pops here, boom, just rotate, and then you try to get your flash out, and then you might be here in time. But again, two different solutions for maybe potentially the same problem. As a sentinel, you wouldn't really have this problem. Like let's pretend like I'm Killjoy here. Your Lombard's going to be here. Your turret's going to be here, fighting aggro B main, and then your Molly is going to be like here or something. So if they're B, you would know because your turret's here, and then you would pop the Molly, and then you're just on the site already. And then if they're A, then you would either push or you would flank. You would push and then flank, or you would rotate through mid and fight mid, or you would just rotate spawn side. But naturally, as a sentinel, you're more likely going to be on the bomb site, which solves at least one of those problems here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of what I see on defense. Is that clear, I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. How do you feel about that?
I feel like it makes sense. It is kind of
Okay.
sad that like I stopped rotating so fast, but I do think a lot of that is just hesitation. Like not sure now that my mind has been open to a bunch of different possibilities. It's like, oh shit, now which one do I pick? But maybe I should
Yeah,
just go
yeah,
back to one brain cell. I was thinking of just
yeah.
like writing down a bunch of one brain cell thoughts because I think I expressed to you over Discord like maybe now I'm thinking too much. Maybe now I'm overcomplicating it. I need to go back to basics.
That's a really good like self-awareness that you have there. It really just goes back to the mid curve. I'm gonna pull this back up because I just love it. It's so funny to me. Let's see, mid curve. I'm gonna generate one meme.
Yeah, ignorance
Generator.
is bliss.
It's so good, this mid curve meme. So let's do fast rotate, fast rotate, fast rotate, and then text two is like, what if there's a lurker? What if they fake? Or if they're defaulting? What if they cancel the site hit? You know, like this is where I would say, I mean, this graph literally just does it so well. It's like 95% of the player base is here. And you shifted from beginner player to here. We need to get back to either you need to regress back to 55 IQ or you need to skip this mid portion and go to 145 IQ, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. And if I'm being completely honest, if you're playing Sentinel, there is a lot more nuance to it too. But maybe I'll just show you really quickly what Nats does, so you can kind of get an idea of what it could look like on Sentinel. And he's very good at fast rotating. So just to really quickly. This is his setup pretty much every round. 11 out of 12 rounds on defense, he did this exact setup. Alarm bot here, turret here. Okay. Now, in terms of his molly, he switched it up, but like he almost always has this molly to stop the rush. Now, his second molly, he normally would do this. Okay. So this early molly would just basically let this turret get control, and they have to respect the fact that you might have crossed. This detail here on the molly is not as important. What is important is the fact that this turret here sees into B main. So that means that if this turret doesn't shoot in the first couple of seconds of the round, he doesn't hear anything here, he's gone. He's either rotating to A or he's rotating to mid or whatever. A lot of times we found in the VOD that I saw, he would like get here and then he's just ready to fight mid. He doesn't like immediately swing mid, but he's just here ready to fight mid. And then, you know, if they do end up coming back to B, his turret's going to shoot, which then buys him time to rotate back onto site. And then if he needs to, he can pop the molly, because this turret gives more info for him to rotate back in. So basically, if there was a player here that walked up B main, let's say after 20 seconds, breaks the turret, he will still be able to reposition back onto site because his turret gave him quick enough info. And then hopefully his molly delays, and if he needs to, he can ask for a smoke or something. So
that's nice.
Super nice as a Sentinel, right? And your rotates, your decision making is pretty much like flow charted. It's like, okay, turret gets shot, okay, let me rotate over.
Yeah.
Or turret gets shot, let me pop a molly. So you could really flowchart a lot of this as Senti, which is quite nice. But the number one mistake that Sentinel players do is that they don't fast rotate. So they are kind of just like, oh yeah, let me just like chill. Like I'm Sentinel, I have limited range on my util. Let me just like vibe. If they come to my bump site, like people connect Sentinel as like hard anchoring on the bomb site, and that is true. Sentinels are the ones that typically hard anchor the most, but it does stop them from getting that fast rotate. So that's kind of what I would be worried about for you specifically, is if you were to play the Sentinel, maybe you would just stop fast rotating completely. But I also feel like because you have the info here, it would help inform your fast rotate. So I could see it both ways as well. But like I said, 11 out of 12 rounds he did this, and he was gone. Some rounds he was just like here on the round start. He didn't even throw his molly, he's just here. And then if they were going to go A, he would pick up his turret, because it was out of range basically at this point. And then he would keep his alarm bot up. He can't go heaven because it's going to deactivate his alarm bot here. So as Killjoy, he would rotate tree instead, and then go for a couple spams here, or he would get ready to run through the smoke. But you could still fast rotate, is my point as Sentinel. And it's obviously a lot easier if you're playing like a Sentinel like Cypher, because I'm not sure if you're familiar, but the Cypher util doesn't have range. So Nats also plays Cypher. And when he did play Cypher, he would have like a mid trap here, boom, he would have a trip B main. You could do whatever trip you want. There's a couple. You could do this one here. You could do the standard one on the choke. You could do this one that comes out, but then they could technically walk out. But whatever. Let's just do the basic one that can't actually walk through. The most important thing to note here is he has this early camera, and then he's not even here at the round start. He's here, and then camera round start barrier drops. He's like, oh shit, there B. Let me rotate back over. Forgot he has a cage here too. Okay, so he's over here in spawn. Round starts. It's 140. Let me unpause the timer. Okay, 139. Oh shit, there B. Let me rotate, pop the cage, and then now you're back on site. Or
That's nice too.
it's like, okay, 139 started. Boom, they're not here. Let me just fast rotate. I'm going. Okay. And then you could just jump and then tap the camera as you're going. The jump would keep your momentum as you rotate. So it's pretty normal for ciphers just to jump around checking that camera like this. Obviously, as Killjoy, your turret just does that all the time, but it doesn't have global range. So
Yeah.
this is pretty much the most important thing to do as Sentinel. Now that was the side tangent, but I think that obviously getting back into that fast rotate decision making will help you get more impact in general, and doing it as a Sentinel can help you make that informed decision because you'll naturally be more biased towards one of the sites anyways. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's take a look at attack, because obviously we did get 5 on defense and we only get 1 on attack. So it could be that attack is just even the harder portion, which my guess is already going to be that their stopping power is very good. You won't be able to rush any of their sites, number 1, because we don't have a jet, so we don't have an entry duelist. And number 2, I mean, literally every single one of them have some sort of stall util. So Cypher Trip is very scary, but everyone else, like this Molly, I think Brimstone Molly lasts like, it's like an ungodly long time. Fade obviously has the Seize and the Haunt. Phoenix has a Molly and Raze has a damage nade. So you won't be able to rush the choke points here, which is also probably why you struggle with split.
Oh yeah.
So that's my guess. Let's see if that theory holds true. Really hot, so there's gonna be smoke here. Boom, smoke. Well, actually, surprisingly, no Molly, but there's a trip. And we won't make it through the choke point, it looks like. Yeah, so we didn't make it through. That sucks. We have no one on our team that has damage util to break the Cypher trip, unless Phoenix knows a Molly lineup, or a wall lineup. So yeah, that's I can definitely understand what's going on here. What the fuck? It's like perfect timing, bro. Okay, let's see. We're a little bit scared of this guy. Oh my god, the baby steps.
Yeah, at this point I think I was just thinking if I stall him long enough, maybe he won't get the sight.
That's valid. Okay. I feel like we're playing a bit scared though.
Yeah.
Like just like the way we're peeking this, like we're trying to slice. I know we've talked about this a little bit, but just to bring it back up, typically you can't slice if you're close to the box. So he has severe angle advantage. You kind of just have to swing him or jiggle or jump reach. But it seems like the more you've played this game, the more hesitation we've added, which makes a ton of sense. We start to, especially if you are playing against Smurfs in some games, you might get that negative feedback loop. Oh, I can't fight this guy. He's just going to insta-kill me. A lot of the first like 200 hours of Valorant is getting over that fear and just running in and dying. Okay, obviously we're not going to make it through the choke point here. Oh, just kidding. He ran in. Never mind. We might actually make it through. We just have to use our little flash. Ah! Seize. Now we're gonna get naded. Maybe. Oh wait, we're killing. We're winning. We're winning. Okay, so simply put, we just didn't use the flash here, but we did get some. From what I can definitely tell is on attack, we're just having troubles making it out of the choke point. Like we're a bit more scared. Killjoy won't help with that, I'll be honest, unless you use the Killjoy ulti. But Cypher is fucking gamer for this. So let's just pretend like this is a Brimstone smoke. What's very common for Cyphers to do is double cage to get out. So you activate this one, you activate this one, now you're Caterpillar smoke, you just run out. This is like one of the nicest things in my opinion to do as Cypher. It's just like, oh, I'm smoked off. Okay, let me just connect my smoke to the smoke, and then do another one here. You basically just like play like a little game of, I don't even know what this game is, but you just walk out with your smokes. So that's a very nice thing to do. You don't have that with Killjoy. Getting out of the choke point as Killjoy is hard, but it helps in a different way. So Cypher lets you get through the choke point because you have smokes close to you. Killjoy, you get through the choke points a little bit easier because you have you stop them from going through. So what could be useful, I don't know these lineups, but just pretend like I do. Like pretend like this lineup lands like heaven, and then this one like lands tree door or something. Yeah, so that didn't work, but wow, that one actually landed. So pretend like you have these mollies here. Then you would be more likely to be able to get through the smoke because there are going to be less players on the bomb site. So that's kind of what Killjoy's thing does, with assisting out to get to the bomb site, but it's not easy. So you probably have a similar situation with the Reyna here if you're playing Killjoy, but it might just be a little bit easier if you do have the molly lineups. But also, as a Sentinel, you don't have to be here. You can just walk up cat. Which, obviously, looks like we're going for here, and then we cancel it. Well, he's suppressed. Winnable! Man. So, obviously, we don't have the info here. It's very confusing. We look left. Okay, there's a wall. We look right. Okay, there's a smoke. We look close right because there could be a guy there. And then we look back straight. It's hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Again, this is one of those things that you will eventually learn over time with enough brute force and just understanding like where all the positions are. Something that I do conceptually, I never like actually did this on paper, but since you're a newer player, it could be. I did this in CSGO. Is like literally marking down every single spot you might think they could be on like Valor Plant or something. So as an example, you might have like close right, close left, like generator, dice, I guess heaven, hell, and then other heaven, coffin, heaven. Yeah, so something like this, just as an example. And then, if you're going through the process of elimination, okay, well, firewall's on the left. Okay, that means that we can't really look left. And smoke's in the middle, so we don't really have to look heaven or hell in this case. So really the only two angles that are a threat is going to be these two. Maybe coffin, but like right side side basically. But yeah, this is obviously tough. If I'm thinking from the transition of a Sentinel, you don't really have perfect tools for this either. But if you're playing Killjoy, you might have like a molly for heaven at least, so you don't have to look there. And some Killjoys prefer to have the molly coffin as well, like double molly's heaven, so they don't have to look heaven at all. Some Killjoys, I'm one of those, prefer the tree smoke molly because everyone and their mom seems to run through that smoke. But you could definitely have like site molly lineups too, just depending on what you want. So, you could deal with that way. Some Cyphers save their camera to do above the smoke here so that they can kind of see into sight a little bit and get their bearings, but also the cages are here too. So you can kind of figure out what's going on. Sova is definitely the agent that gives you the most info, so you kind of know what to look at. But I wouldn't personally push you to play Sentinel or Initiator because I personally think that the role is pretty complex. It is basic to start, like it's like, oh, just dart and drone, but it can get pretty complex. So yeah, the other thing with Sentinel, just to quickly add that in here, is it's a bit more common for your Sentinel not to be with the team, actually. So you actually started this round top mid by jump spotting. What you could do with Killjoy, at least, is you could put your turret here, and then you can just walk up cat. Now this turret will shoot the guy here while you look here, as an example. So this gives you a bit more confidence to walk up cat. Now, the higher level thing that Killjoys will do if they go for the catwalk is actually start the round here with their turret here for the B push. And then they'll run all the way over and barrier, and then they start here, and you can see the turret's in range. And then this just allows them to not have to worry about this angle, because by the time you shift walk up here, if they push B off rip, you'll die to this guy. So this turret just accounts for that. But this means that if you are walking up cat without your turret, you have to be worried about these two angles, which, it's not the worst thing in the world, but at least you don't die to this B main guy. So it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
To go one deeper, and then I'll move on. Sometimes you can walk up cat from B side, and you have a bit more bases covered. So the way I like to do this is I would alarm bot for my B push, And then when the round starts, the barrier is right here. So I run up here and I look high and I get my turret up here. It's really awkward sometimes. But now this turret sees a little bit into mid like this. It also sees into cat. So basically now when I come out and I'm trying to walk up cat, all I have to do is peek out here. They probably won't be there because of the turret, and then I'll just like look mid. I could just pretty much look here the entire time. And then I just keep shift walking. My alarm bot's going to go down now, but by the time it goes down, I'm safe from the B main push. And I can just clear this. And then now when I get here, I have to clear this corner because the turret won't see it anymore. But now the turret should see my mid push. So now I don't have to look at it anymore. I can pretty much walk up cat alone, pretty self-sufficient. And then now I can kind of just look for a backstab. So these are some cooler ways to walk up cat and go for splits. And it's a lot more common for your sentinel to go for like flanks and stuff like that compared to just running with the team. Nats does not do that. He just runs with the team. And I think it is very valuable to run with the team. But in this game in particular, we're obviously struggling to get out of the choke point, and walking up cat would be a really good solution to that. Okay, so I know I'm introducing a lot of new things here, but I guess number one, did that make sense? Number two, did you have any questions?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'm not gonna think too much about it yet because it might contribute to my hesitation.
For sure. Cool.
But it is cool to see the theory behind it.
Senti util definitely lets you have like less gaps, which is quite nice. Yeah, I believe Path is silver one right now, yeah. Okay, so we'll see if we make it through this choke. My guess is we have Phoenix. Oh, this guy close right. This Raze has been making hyper aggro plays all game, which might lead me to think he's a smurf, but let me cope real quick. This is a different Raze, actually. Well, actually, I don't even know what ascent game we're looking at now. Was it not this one?
It's the 16th. Wait. 16th. Oh, it's because of the time difference. So I
that
think
was
it
this
is that
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy only has 11 kills. He's just confident. Yo, this guy is confident. Holy shit. Bronze 3.67 KD, but he's just running it down. Wait, we need that level of confidence. Like, this is like delusional type of confidence.
Okay, I need the Delulu.
Yeah, we need the Delulu. Because, I mean, this guy is just going for like crazy plays, and, you know, it's working out. Well, at least that game.
Yeah.
He was going fast B, making space for the team, and yeah, he's going for solo B main pushes. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, same thing with the peeking thing. I know we just seen it, but now you can kind of see it in action. Tight peeking here is going to be very hard. I'll just go ahead and show you what could look like, so you have a quick visual. What we did was, boop, went for the micro adjustment. What you could do here is just jiggle, or you just wide swing this. The thing to keep in mind here, if you look, this guy can't hear you because of the sound range. So this is a really good angle just to wide swing.
Okay.
But also we have angle disadvantage, so. Bind's not in the map anymore, but Bind used to have a lot of those angles where you just wide swing off rip because they couldn't hear you.
Guns up. Get ready. They will go.
Yeah, I do know the netted picking video. He goes 1, 2. He just full swings. It's a good video, yeah. Oh, we're actually walking up mid. I'm down.
I do kill A. Hello.
Oh, we didn't commit. Wow, this guy had a flash. Yeah, you know what? I'm down. Leave that guy.
Someone defend the phone.
Fire nickel!
Okay.
Wow, he just killed himself too. Okay, this is a good spot here. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm at that 2x. That's crazy that we got the headshot here. It's like we're aiming like waist, and then we aimed up, and then the second bullet recoil fucking sniped that guy's head off. Wow, that's a good cage. Yo, I thought he was gonna Phoenix Flash with the cage. That would have been fire, but that's what he did? Holy shit. It's so hard to aim against moving targets. It's so
Yeah.
hard. I don't even blame you there. I always spray that, but yeah, wow. What I kind of noticed that round was just we actually weren't really close to a teammate, but I thought we were gonna commit to the mid lurk, and then this guy flashed. So yeah, in order to be a really good Reyna, and I'm gonna scroll back up. I know we talked about this here, like this concept of group A and group B. We talked about it more so in the context of like coming out of a choke point for a site execute. But just in general, Arena is typically going to be first or third in. In this round, we were kind of like late because we were going potentially for that mid walk, and then your Phoenix ran up catwalk alone. But that led us to not be there for the trade. I think that there's just so many moving parts with Valorant that it might be easier for you to digest information if you're playing the game alone. And what I mean by that is on defense, you play your bomb site. Whatever the fuck happens on your bomb site, you got that shit on lock. If they're not there, you push it or you flank, you rotate, but you're playing like pretty much a single player game on your bomb site. And then on attack, you might decide to play fully single player as well, or you're going for lurks like 12 out of 12 rounds or something. Now, will that set you up for the best success like long term? I don't personally think so. Like going back to the 80-20 rule, going with the teammates and trading out, like the idea of trading is a big portion of Valorant. But given that there's just so many moving parts, it's difficult to process all of this stuff. I mean, you could go the brute force approach and just fucking send it for another 200 games. And you'll eventually develop that skill. But I will be honest, that's how I learned the game. Like when I played CS, I just ran it down. But everyone, I think, learns the game in a different way. And it might make more sense for you to learn the game through the lens of a Sentinel first, where you're playing that lurk on attack and you're playing that site anchor on defense. When I say site anchor, again, I want to add that, again, nuance that you should be trying to fast rotate if you aren't getting that info. But yeah, playing more of like a bomb site player. Okay. So yeah, when I talk about the Sentinel role, what like type of feeling do you get? Is it like anxiousness? Are you excited? Are you scared, nervous, like curious? Like what kind of feeling comes up for you?
Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit of relief so that my teammates stop yelling at me for immediately picking Reyna.
Valid.
And then maybe more so of curiosity because I have just been playing Reyna for so long now. Like I think like maybe 2 months or something. I don't remember when we started just insta-locking her, but yeah,
it's around that time frame.
Yeah, I think that after those couple games where I was just like losing so much with Deadlock and then winning so much with Reyna, I was like, oh, okay, so this is the path now. And then now that maybe I'm getting more stomped on with Reyna and trying to find a different option, that it makes sense. But role specifically, I'm still a little maybe iffy because I do remember the conversation that we had where like the roles don't really matter too much, or like in my rank more or less. Let me know if I'm speaking over you, but like that's just what I have in mind. So that's also why I felt a little, when picking Clove, for example, yesterday. It's just like, oh, the role doesn't really matter. I'm working on my mechanics. So I don't know, maybe just trying to find that balance.
Yeah.
More curious about that.
Man. Like 2 years ago in this game, maybe even a year ago, I would say 2 years. It very much was Iron to Gold was play an agent or role that lets you get a lot of gun duels and you can shoot your way to gold. And then when you're in plat and plat to like diamonds, maybe even ascendant, that's where you're like discovering what role works for you, because that's kind of when you start playing Valorant a little bit of actual Valorant. And then like Immortal Plus, that's more so where you're like really learning what macro means in like the big picture of the game. Like, oh, let's make pressure here and break util and then reset and go here, or understand like what the enemy team's rotates look like and their setups are, and just like the deeper understanding of the game. I think the game has been out for like 5 years. It could just be that the ranks are getting harder. Like, for example, the threshold to do the agent role stuff, once you have like a decent amount of mechanics, could just be around that silver level.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. But I think in terms of the side quest of playing the Reyna and getting more mechanics down there, I think we've achieved that goal, at least to a certain threshold that it feels like we are winning some gun duels, and at a point we're winning many of the gun duels. So that's kind of what the goal was in the first place. Now, whatever rank that gets you to is going to be different based on how difficult the game is. You're also in EU, I should acknowledge. Like, I'm using the reference point of NA. I know the regions are slightly different. Like, it could just be, I might piss off some NA people, but like, it could just be silver in EU is gold in NA. Like, that could just be the truth. I don't know. It could just also be cope. But my point being is, we got the mechanics at a certain level. Could we always improve our mechanics? Yes. Could we improve our mechanics right now if we wanted to? 100%. But what I'm seeing right now is less so we're losing gun duels, and more so we're not in good positions to play the round.
Okay.
And
so maybe
that.
Sorry, continue.
No. Go ahead.
Well, just maybe working on the mechanics alongside other things.
Yeah, I think learning a new role and trying to figure out like what positions to play and how to solve this specific problem of retake simulator. What does that look like in solving that as a sentinel? Typically, that's going to be either just playing that bomb site because you have a stronger site hold, or two, you try and get that early info and then fast rotate. But on attack, like, we're having the problem of getting out of the choke point. As a duelist, it's like, well, what do I do? I'm supposed to run out with the team. But as a sentinel, it's like, oh, I can just go lurk. It's like, fine. No one's going to yell at me if I lurk. Like, if you lurk as Reyna, people are going to be like, oh my God, lurking Reyna, Vader, blah, blah, blah. When they also don't realize, like, someone has to lurk. And if we aren't, like, if no one else is doing it, we should probably do it. Because otherwise we're just 5-man running into a smoke and a molly. So, yeah, I guess with the problems we're seeing right now in this particular game, making the transition to Sentinel should make those two problems easier to solve naturally because the role biases towards both of those solutions. I think it would be a little bit different if we were doing all of the decision making, like the fast rotate, we were making it out onto the bomb site, but we're just losing the gun duels. That's probably where I would consider just staying on the Reyna or the Clove or just something more gunfight heavy for a bit longer. But that doesn't seem to be the case, at least so far.
Okay.
I think we have one more round here, so it's going to be another 5-man walk A. It's going to be a Cypher trip here. I'm scared. Actually, he's suppressed. Oh no, we have sight. Oh my God, there's no trap. Wait, there's no one here. What the fuck? Wait. I didn't even see the flick. We actually just vertical flick headshot that guy. That's impressive. I can't even lie. That's impressive. I don't hit that. Okay, let's see. How's this post-plant play? I mean, obviously we win it, but... Oh no, we lose it. We lose it. Because it's 13-6. Flash. He's just out tree. Hello, team? He's just out tree. He just killed everyone. Yeah, okay. So we did make it out of the bomb site. The post plant just went south. There's not, regardless of your role there, not much is changing there. So let's kind of scroll down here. This game, we just had trouble hitting sites because of their sheer stopping power. Mollies, trips, smokes, etc. The way to solve this generally is to lurk / flank, which is very anti-duelist.
Yeah.
Anti-duelist, generally. Okay, so where do we go from here? Well, I think we pick up the Sentinel role. We're in Sentinel role so that on defense we can play for our site hold and also have info to feel confident and fast rotating. I think to me, my gut instinct is that this part here is gonna be a big portion, because like if you have a piece of util there and it's like, oh, there's actually not a gap there, you might just be like, oh, I can just rotate, my turret is watching it, or something like that, or my camera or my trip. So I think that's going to be a big part. And then on attack, learning like lurk / flanks on attack. Now this one, I will admit, might be a little bit strange, but I will reference the Lurking 101 lecture here, plus Rain's game after, to kind of learn it. I did it on Clove, but the general premise, I'll walk through my thought process in the lecture and the rank game. The exact same thing applies on no matter what role you're on. But the TLDR basically is, there's 3 types of lurks. You have tempo 0, tempo 1, and tempo 2. Tempo 0, this lurk is not really a lurk, it's just walking literally off a barrier, like right off a barrier. Tempo 1, this type of lurk is you wait until your teammates make pressure. So this is typically in the form of a kill. They get a kill or someone dies before you start walking up. And then tempo 2, this one is going to be really uncommon. Tempo 1, I should also immediately say this is the most common. Tempo 2 lurk is you wait until the enemy re-clears your lurk position before walking up, or you're just wrapping a bomb site. So let me actually just walk you through both of these, or all 3 of these, in the context of ascent. Okay.
Okay.
So let's just start with ascent. Tempo 0. Tempo 0, literally you're just walking off barrier. So this actually would be the catwalk. Let's say I have this turret here. Round starts. I'm going to put off the timer. I'm literally just immediately walking up cap. There's no pressure created yet. Maybe my teammates are making a noise, but I'm already just walking. And then I'm like just looking for my timing, and I'm looking for the kill. This would be an example of a tempo 0 lurk. A tempo 1 lurk could be very similar, but you might just wait here until your teammates actually start fighting A main before you start walking up, so that this cat player here is more likely to turn around. You don't. So this is them creating pressure. You're just vibing here. You might have your turret. You might just swing off your turret, but you aren't actually walking up yet until they create pressure. That would be a tempo 1 lurk. This is the more common lurk. Now you can kind of mix and match it for this specific one, so I'm going to add a little bit of nuance. You could do the tempo 0 thing where you just turret and walk up immediately off of round drop. Boom, 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 boom. But then you get to say here, and like you clear all this, and then you just wait. You could just, this could be your, like you did the tempo 0 thing to get to this position, but now you're waiting until tempo 1 for your teammates to make a ton of pressure to draw their attention to them, and then you walk. And that could be an example of that. Now, tempo 2 is very strange, but let's just cut out the walking portion. You're just waiting here until these players that rotated from B go back and clear cat. So like normally the door is closed like this, right? I don't know if this happens in your games at all, but just bear with me here. Pretend like I'm the B player. I'm gonna turn on the timer. I'm the B player, I rotated over, they're A, the door is closed. Before I break the door, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna look for the lurker. So in this case, I'd be looking for you. Okay, nothing here, nothing here. Okay, nothing top mid. Okay, now I go back, now I break the door, and then now I play for the retake. And then this is where you as a tempo 2 lurk would be like, oh, haha, they just cleared cat. Let me go and backstab. So after doing like a couple of tempo 1 lurks, you might be able to big brain them and wait for them to re-clear you, and then you go late. That's kind of the idea. Now, that might sound simple or might sound overcomplicated, but you can't really understand it until you do it. So when I was learning lurking, I went for a lot of tempo 0 lurks and I would just immediately die. It's like, what's going on? Why am I just dying so quick? And I was like, oh, I have to wait until my teammates get contact. I was like, oh, let me just wait here a little bit. And then I was like, oh, this is working so much better. And I was like, well, now they're just actually like, sometimes they start looking for me. So then I like transition into a tempo 2 lurk where I'm just waiting, like super wait, and then I'll go. And the last example of a tempo 2 lurk is actually going with the team and then leaving. So let's just pretend like I have an alarm bot for flank. I'm running with the team. Pretend like I have some type of lineup or something. Rushing with the team. Maybe this is also a Killjoy ult type of rounds, because you have to be with the team to Killjoy ult. And I'm just going with the team, boom, boom, help my teammates get the site, Molly Heaven, and then maybe even put my turret here. And then going into the post plant, instead of staying A main and playing for the delay, I go for that wrap play. So like I might knife out, and then I might just go all the way around here. Maybe I've gone out to clear some of this, and then I'll just shift walk. And then this is very similar timing to a tempo 2 lurk, but I was with the team first. So this technically is defined as a wrap and not a lurk, but it's pretty similar concept. Because like at this point, when you run all the way back, they've already cleared the potential catwalk, and you're just going so late that they don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
This also works very well with Killjoy specifically because you help your teammates take the bomb site. Let's just say theoretically you didn't have to use any mollies. You can throw 2 mollies on the bomb, and then you can just run away. And let's just say like you get to here and they're like retaking already, and they might tap the bomb soon. You pop your first molly and it delays. It's buying you time to continue walking up. And you pop your second molly. Now they can't be on bomb. Now you actually have a flank.
Yeah. So
it's pretty common for Killjoys to go for wrap plays because the molly can buy you time to, actually walk around the map. But yeah, that's where to go from here. In terms of attack, I would highly recommend you actually take a look at the Lurking 101 lecture and then the ranked game after, so you can kind of understand the thought process behind it. And then the other thing to do here is actually just learning the basic setup of defense, like what your fast rotate setup would be. To do this, I would highly recommend you take a look at the spreadsheet and just like skim through a couple of rounds. Let me see, actually, I don't know if I've done Senti in particular for this. Otherwise it might be there, but I feel like I've done a couple. Let me check real quick. Okay, let's see. Agent map guides. Okay, so we do have a couple, not a lot, but we have Cypher Sunset. We have, this is the how to play. We have Cypher Sunset, we have Killjoy Haven, we have Vice Ascent, which you probably won't be playing Vice Ascent. There's a Killjoy Ascent game that I reviewed for Nats in this part of the spreadsheet over here. That would be a better watch for that. And then you probably wouldn't do Icebox either. But my point being is that could be a starting point, but really it's going to be something like this. It's like turret here, molly here, alarm bot here. You start here, you might throw your early molly, and then you either fast rotate. And I'll just go ahead and do this one and put in the document so you can kind of get an idea. But you rotate either this way to go towards, let me do the arrow. Go towards tree. And then, or you can rotate mid to fight, or you push here. And then let me add a text box for the details. So aggro B main turret gets info in B main. Early molly stops any rushes. If they are outside B, you can push them with molly plus Sova util. Okay, so this is this first portion here. Second portion here will be fast rotating to mid after the molly is advised. They use mid util, smoke, or dart, and you can be here to test the space and fight mid. This would be this second rotate here. And last but not least, no mid pressure, no B pressure, which by process of elimination lets us lean towards A and potentially full commit our rotate to tree. Okay, and basically what I'm trying to do here for defense is flowchart your defense. I think it would be very useful for you to try and go through all of the 7 maps and get a basic skeleton structure of what this flowchart will look like. And that typically will be best done by looking at some of the VODs on the spreadsheets. Like we've covered all the maps at this point in the pro reviews, but the agent map guides aren't all fleshed out because this is like a newer iteration thing that I started doing in March. But Cypher Sunset is going to be really good. Killjoy Haven is also going to be really good, depending on if you're playing Killjoy or Cypher. And then if you just go through here, there'll also be pretty much all there as well, just at least for the pro review. So you don't have to look through the whole VOD. I wouldn't even recommend you look at the whole VOD. All I want you to do is come up with literally this, like get whatever this thing means to you, this skeleton structure on defense, just get this for all 7 maps, and you'll be good to go.
Okay, interesting.
And then on attack, I mean, again, the lurking 101 lecture will kind of be the key there, but I would say free ball attack a bit more because you can't really flowchart attack as easily. So, and Sentinel is a bit stronger on defense anyway. So focus a bit more of your attention points on defense and let that be the biggest focus for this week, I think.
Okay.
So now the follow-up question would be, what agent is our agent pool for the maps? So I'll tell you what I would play. Ascent, I would probably play Killjoy because the ult is very good. On Haven, I personally would play Cypher because that's a very fast rotate type of map. But Killjoy is also very, very good on Haven. You have really good ults on defense and attack, and Nats pretty much only plays Killjoy this act. Let me pull up his tracker. He plays Cypher in pro play, but in ranked he only plays Killjoy. And it's not because his Cypher is bad. If I literally just go back one act, he had an 80% win rate on Cypher. His Cypher is very good. But I think I wish I could ask him, but basically you could play Killjoy on pretty much every single map and make it work, is my point.
Yeah.
So it's dependent on you. You could also do the same with Cypher. But Icebox, Killjoy is going to be way better than Cypher. Chamber is viable. It's definitely not bad. Lotus, I personally play Vice. Now, given that you're newer to the game, I would limit your pool to 2 Sentinels max. So if that's going to be between Killjoy and Cypher, I probably wouldn't touch the Vice. But you could have an agent pool that it's just Killjoy or Vice, in which case I would personally play the Vice on Lotus, and I would personally play the Vice on Pearl. But Killjoy is very good on both. You could pretty much substitute the both of them. And they play very similarly. It's just Vice doesn't have range util restrictions. Like you could put the wall and be anywhere on the map and it won't go down.
Yeah.
But Killjoy has less gaps. Split, literally all of them are good. You could literally play any Sentinel in the game and it's good on Split. Like Sage, Deadlock, Vice, like you could list the entire arsenal, it's good. I personally prefer Cypher, but again, for you, it's going to be more based on where you're going with your agent pool. And then Sunset, the traditional, it is going to be Cypher, but like I said, Nats is playing Killjoy and everything. I don't know if teams are playing Vice or players are playing Vice on Sunset. I actually don't know for that one. But yeah, so my question for you would be, do you see yourself playing more of a Cypher or more of a Killjoy? For some reason, I can't put Cypher here.
Probably more of the Killjoy because I get a little disoriented. I know he has the camera, so it would have to take me out of the out of where I am. So
no, that's fair.
My initial thought.
Okay, no, I'm down for that. I will say Killjoy is probably the easier one to learn too. So let's do Killjoy. Now we have to decide on these maps. You could do Killjoy on all 7 maps, and that's completely viable. So the question for you is, do you want to try and learn Vice at all for specifically Lotus and Pearl? Because those are her 2 best maps. Or would you rather learn the Killjoy? Because again, Killjoy is very good on both of those maps still.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe just Killjoy just to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just to one brain cell Killjoy.
I'm so down for that. Getting that agent comfort will be a big thing too. So yeah. Okay, so Killjoy is a good thing here. If you don't see any of the Killjoy VODs for this on these maps in the spreadsheet, you should have access to the VOD finder maybe the VOD finder's down right now. Let me try again. The website might be up. Let me see one more time. Let's try the website. You should have access to this because you're in the Discord server. You just have to connect your Discord server.
Yeah, I've tried it.
You've tried the website? Okay.
Yeah.
I would say, let's see if it works, because it might not be working right now. But I was going to say, you could try and find a VOD from Nats specifically, because he's playing a ton of Killjoy. Yeah, it looks like it might be down, so it might just be some API thing right now. But yeah, that is that. Maybe I would say homework. Well, actually, I'll put it at the bottom. So this is the idea. Homework. Create flowchart for defense on all 7 maps with one basic setup that will allow you to play fast rotate / gather early info. Okay. So we have the Ascent one here as an example. What I mean by gather early info is I don't want a setup where you're playing. This one, for example, is like fairly common for Killjoys. Actually, I think it's this. You have like a turret here. You could put this
Well, I
turret a
have
little
seen
better.
the turret up there, and it always scares me whenever I try to come in. So
Yeah, this one's not bad, but the thing to know with Killjoy turret, you see these like blue lines here?
Yeah.
That's the cone of vision. So don't put it straight because you don't see the B main walkout. You just have to like 90-degree it a little bit so it sees the mid walk in here. And then your line bot goes here. And this is the setup I'm showing you, but I don't actually want you to use. I forget the exact mollies, but there's like a molly that goes in here or something. Pretend like the molly goes there. But basically, this is your microwave setup. So you double molly here, the line bot triggers, they get mollied here, you peek out from backside, and you basically just get the AFK here the whole round. If they go mid, your turret sees them. If they go B, you just microwave set up and you kill them. I don't actually want you to learn any. Yeah, microwave, because they're running through mollies and dying here.
Okay.
That's kind of the idea with Killjoy. Double molly, and then they just get cooked. But I don't actually. There's a ton of these setups you'll probably find on YouTube or TikTok. But I don't want you to learn these.
Okay.
I want you to just keep it simple. Learn one basic setup on all 7 maps, and figure out how to play a rough sight hold with that setup, and be able to fast rotate off of it. So again, just going back to this, your fast rotate would be, this turret doesn't get info, you rotate, but then if they're rushing, you just pop this molly, right? And now you might play like logs, you might play here, you might play here, you might even just run out of the market spin. Would it be more ideal for you to be backside? For sure. Against some executes, 100%. I don't know if you played against a jet that goes like updraft dash over here and they land here. Like you being on site would be a good counter. But you also just play stairs and counter that instead of backside. So yeah, my point is keep it simple. Make one flow chart for all 7 maps with one basic setup, and then try to come up with these conditions here. I'm going to fast rotate mid after I use a B main molly if there is no noise. So let me go mid if they like made mid noise. If they are B, I'm actually just walk up and push B. You'll see Nats do that in the spreadsheet on the pro review that I just watched last week. Highly recommend you take a look at that one. And then rotate A if obviously they have A pressure. But and then watch looking 101 lecture plus D right here. But yeah, this is more game sense stuff. Obviously, training mechanics is still going to be good. I know I did just mention the aim training stuff, so I'll create an aim training playlist for you that will last about 15 to 20 minutes. And then the idea for this is play it ideally daily after your ranked games. But it doesn't have to be daily, just after. So you don't get fatigue, pretty much. But yeah, I'll create something and send that over to you.
Awesome.
Do you have any questions, comments, concerns?
What if my flowcharts are bad? What if they're
so create your flowcharts, send them over to me.
Okay.
And then I'll give feedback.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, you could just use this one as your Ascent one though. This one is already done for you.
All right.
But it'll be more important for you to do them than me just give them to you. So
would
you
recommend
but definitely use
that
me.
I like maybe okay, so maybe base it off of what I see in the pro reviews rather than
Correct.
like playing it myself and then trying to figure it out.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
No need to reinvent the wheel.
Okay. Good. I wasn't good at wheels anyway.
Cool. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm kind of excited. It's
Good.
been a while since I've had homework, like aside from the warm-ups. So
For sure. I feel like this is probably your skill set anyways, in terms of like based on your Notion documents. So, you might be able to learn the game a little bit quicker this way compared to some other players. So yeah, I think it's a really good transition. So I'm excited to see where we are in a week.
okay, sounds good. And I know a couple of chatters have been trying to get me to play Killjoy anyway, so this might be
Perfect.
good news. This might be good news.
Perfect. Definitely don't become the AFK Killjoy on B-bomb site though.
Okay.
So yeah, but that's great. Like I said, definitely send those flowcharts to me. If you have any questions, hit me up. Like use me as a correction source. Like I'm thinking for some reason like a bowling alley, like the gutters on the sides, they have put the things up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bumpers.
Yeah,
You're my bumpers.
the bumpers. Yeah, I'm the bumpers. So, you know, if you have any questions, if you need any clarification, 100% reach out. I'm here if you need me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thanks for your time today.
Of course, thank you as well, and good luck on the research and the games. And I'll get you that aim training playlist sent over.
Perfect.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Later.
We'll close that. We'll close that. We'll close that. Oof. Exciting stuff happening in Path's journey to gold. In Path's path to gold. How are we doing today, chats? A little extra time today. Before my meeting. I do have to go to the bathroom though, so maybe maybe I should just head out. Have a little... Actually, maybe I should eat dinner before my meeting. Because I didn't really plan anything. I thought we were going to go overtime today. Do I have any news? We're finishing up Split Fiction on Wednesday with Kitty. So I hope to see you there. I'm thinking of turning it into a supercut on YouTube instead of... if you've noticed, I haven't uploaded them to the VODs channel. So... maybe one big supercut of all 3 episodes, and then maybe a highlights, but we'll see. How is everyone getting with the media club for this month? Honestly, I have not done anything with media club, mostly because I've restarted my French learning, so I haven't had too much time for media outside of my French media that I'm doing as well. It's kind of hard to juggle both, but oops, camp. But I really want to have a little movie night sometime this week, so I do want to watch the movie that we have set up. There's a lot of chatter on it in the Discord. I haven't looked at it because those discussions are spoiler friendly, so I don't want to spoil myself yet. Excited to see what you're all talking about. Oh yeah, we should all just learn French together. I should just do a media club, and it's just my French that I'm working on. Right now I'm listening to an audiobook that's actually free if you have Spotify Premium. It's called Learn French with Paul Noble, and I'm maybe halfway through it now. I've just been listening to it on my daily walks, and I have about 5 hours left of listening, but I've been really good at keeping up with it so far. I'm like, damn, I know a little more French than I thought I did. And I'm also, I mentioned this before, but I've been reading Dear Dumb Diary, but in French. Also, Orange Skittles, thank you for resubscribing with Prime. Happy 9 months to us. Sorry, I didn't see that. But thank you so much. Yeah, we're watching Perfect Blue this month. Sinners was last month's movie, but I still haven't watched it. I don't even know if it's still playing in theaters. I might have to wait until it's out on streaming. If it isn't still playing here. My French is so rusty because I have no one to talk French with. Dude, I've been trying to talk French with Kitty because he's a native speaker, and we just always end up defaulting to English because he's so fluent in it. I'm like, damn, it's on streaming now? Okay, actually that's good news. Maybe I'll do like a movie marathon this week. Just really want to chill. I'm still trying to edit my YouTube videos. Multiple. I have oh my god, so much on my plate. Maybe I should start cutting things off. But I'll look into that. Split Fiction finale stream in French. That would be so funny though. Like, you're watching the supercut and then a third of the way in we just start only speaking French. Wait, that would be so funny. We can put translations in for English. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I'll talk with him about it. That would be so funny. But I don't think my French is that good to... Especially speaking. Speaking is really hard. I can listen, I can understand, I can read, I can write, but speaking is very difficult for me, especially the pronunciation. I get everything wrong. But what else to update you on? I don't know. A French only stream would be so fun. Maybe like stream ends if I accidentally speak English or something like that. That could be funny. Citizenship test arc when? Dude, that means I have to learn history. The game audio can be French though. That's true too. Oh yeah, and we're starting Clair Obscur on Saturday. So I hope to see you there. Maybe I should have pulled up the schedule, but you can just look at path.party. Everything should be updated. And we're still going through the 30-day music challenge in the Discord. We have our Minecraft server open. Dude, so much is happening right now. So much is happening right now. Yeah, new long game. It's a French game. Maybe we could play Expedition in French. That could be funny too. We could play... I was thinking, what if I changed my Valorant game into French? Would I struggle? Probably not. And I would just learn all the voice lines in French. That could be fun. And I don't know. Just an idea. So much happening. Path started balding again. Dude, I moved back. I don't know if anyone even noticed, but I did do a side part for the last month or so because I was worried that my part in the middle was getting a little too wide. But we're back in the middle now because it's comfortable. But don't talk about my balding. I'm self-conscious. Just kidding, it's fine. It's normal. I'm a human being. I'm not AI yet. Alright, I think I'll close off there because I do want to eat something before my meeting and we do have time, so thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much to Dopai for the time and the coaching. I feel so bad because we're on session 11 and I think I'm down 53 RR since starting. But maybe this ends this week. I did do very well for a while, and then I don't know what happened. I started self-doubting. Maybe this is my Achilles heel. Let's see who's online. Who can I raid? What? I'm not logged in? Okay. I don't know why it always logs me out of Twitch. Let's raid. Let's raid Anaya Piano. Alright. Maybe the cure is some comp on stream. I'm too scared to play comp on stream now. We lose. We just lose. Okay. Hope you're having a good morning, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I hope you have a good one. I hope you stay safe. Hope you're doing well. And I will see you later. Okay. Bye. 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 Bye.
Rewind to before I changed, started acting strange, had my life in my own hands. Meanwhile, I was wasting time, thinking things were fine, but you had other plans. Behind your weak disguise, all the worthless lies, I was wrong and now I know. Don't think that I won't try, this is not goodbye. searched around, always lost, not found, but I didn't realize. Like a giant standing in my way, leading me astray. Now it's time for me to rise. I knew I had to find myself. Turns out I'm on my own.